Hey, this is Coach Justin, and as a strength and conditioning coach, I have questions a lot about what people should do when they're too sore to work out, what an active recovery session entails, and so today we'll go through a few strategies as well as a few techniques to help you out when you are a little bit sore from a previous day's workout, or if you have a day off and you want to make sure that you're fresh for your upcoming workout. An active recovery session involves 3 parts typically. The first part I recommend is some sort of light cardiorespiratory activity. Biking is probably the best, stationary bike. That way you can just get the blood flow going in a non-impactful manner. You can decrease the viscosity of your joint fluids, warm up your body's temperature, and even just mentally prepare you for a workout. I know when I'm really beat down, broken, and sore, last thing I want to start doing are my squats or my lunges, and sometimes 5 or 10 minutes on a bike just prepares me for my workout a little bit better. Second component of an active recovery workout is mobility. Now, I use the term mobility as opposed to stretching because it is more than just what we learned in school of the sit and reach or just doing static stretching. So it's a combination of static and dynamic stretching. The third component is some sort of massage or muscle flush. If you're lucky enough to have a massage therapist, that's great. Have them work on you for 15 minutes to 2 hours or however long you have. But a foam roller or some other self-massage tool will work just as well. So this video will go over a few techniques of the active mobility sequence. That has 3 components as well. The first one I recommend is to start from the ground up. So we'll start with some of the calves and the hamstrings, work our way to the hip flexors, and then finish with some of the upper extremity mobility exercises. The second component is to lengthen your joints, or open up the joints rather, in all 3 planes of motion. So something front to back, something rotationally, something side to side. The third part is to try to lengthen those muscles that may be damaged or have some adhesions on them. So the first one we'll call hamstring drives. Now, before I get going, I know what you're saying. Hey Justin, I've seen some of your other stuff and you always tell me that functional activity involves standing up, squatting, lunging, doing something that actually looks like your activity, and you're correct. But what I like to do on an active recovery session is isolate a few joints at a time and then integrate all those joints together. So we'll start off kneeling, going for the calves, hamstrings, and the hips, and then we'll put that all together with some squats and what we call pendulum swings, where we are utilizing head to toe function. So for this first one, you can grab a dowel, piece of PVC pipe, a broomstick, a medicine ball, or a dumbbell works just as well. And we're going to reach 3 different directions. Reach straight out to the toe, reach to the inside of the knee, and then the one that's always the tightest, reach to the outside of the knee. And since this is a recovery day, I want to hold each position for at least a full second, maybe even up to 3 or 4 seconds in each position. I would repeat this at least 5 times in each direction on each leg. If I want to go more calf, back of the knee, I want to keep this leg locked out. If I want to focus a little more on the upper hamstring, all I have to do is bend this knee slightly and repeat those same reaches. Think about good posture. You don't want to round your back because then I'm stretching my low back and my spine as opposed to the hamstrings, which is the target of this exercise. So think about keeping those shoulder blades squeezed together. Once again, with the knee locked out, with the knee bent, at least 5 reps each direction on each leg. Next part, I'll show you with the medicine ball, and you can use this with just your hands as well. We call this kneeling lunge matrix. So I'm going to go forward, 45 degrees here, 90 degrees here, while I reach my hands overhead every time so I can lengthen my hip from above and below. So first the forward one, then that 45 degrees, and then the 90 degrees, and my chest and my arms follow that lunging leg. And my planted knee remains in a fixed position. I don't want to let this knee follow here and here, because then it's relatively doing the same thing as just lunging forward. So we want to do that, once again, at least 5 repetitions on each leg, reaching those hands overhead with a medicine ball, a light dumbbell, piece of PVC pipe or a dowel, like I said, holding that overhead for 1 to 2 seconds. And once again, to really open up the hips and the groin. All right, the next part of the exercises I'll demonstrate today are what we call pendulum swings. Now, like anything else, you can do this exercise in all 3 planes of motion, but for time's sake today, I'll show you just the rotational, or what we call the transverse plane. So feet are about shoulder width apart. Once again, I have my dowel here. My hands are alternating. Whichever palm is facing down, I'm going to squat and reach to that side. As I stand up, I'm going to rotate away. Squat down, rotate there, keeping my arms parallel to the ground. So this is a great spine and shoulder blade workout. As I'm reaching here, I'm trying to open up my left shoulder here, and then as I stand, I'm rotating all the way from my right toe through my left hand. And I would do that 10 times on each side. The last one I have today are IT band drives. And this is something that you can use really lightweight with, or just your hand. So for the IT band drives, my right leg is going to step over my left, and I'm going to reach out here, stretching into this left IT band. If I want to tweak things up just a little bit, I can bend this knee a little and do essentially a step over lunge with a side bend. And that's one of my personal favorite activities. If you want to tweak it up a little bit more and you want to go more in the upper back, so maybe you did a lot of upper body workout, or you're a swimmer and you want that upper back mobility, we do those same things, but reach the hands overhead and side bend here. So now I'm going IT band and spine, essentially stretching from my pinky toe through my pinkies. So just to summarize, an active recovery session should include a little bit of cardio activity to get the blood flow going, warm your body up. The second component, which should be 10 to 15 minutes of dynamic and active mobility exercises, followed by some foam rolling or self-massage. So next time you're sore, 15 to 20 minute total workout can really work wonders and get you ready for your next workout.